Hello everybody, Karim here, ready to solve another challenge with you. The next challenge that you're supposed to solve in this category is the codename SearchLight. And actually, this is the last challenge that we're gonna solve. So, let's solve this challenge. So, opening the challenge, the question states that the nuclear plant is hacked by a group of hackers, and they are going to use the launch codes in T-30. They locked out all personnel, but they still hope to stop the hackers. We need the master safe pin to override the launch code and stop the launch, and you are the only one who can save us. Wow. Okay. It also continues by saying, remember, the person who set the master pin is a high profile person. It is all that we know, so you need to think like him. Okay, so basically we need to find a pin. Once we get a pin, we're going to insert the pin somewhere. We don't know where that is, but I'm assuming we're going to find out. And then it's going to override the launch of the nuclear weapons, so that we can have control of the nuclear plant back again, because as the question states that the plant is hacked. So let's just dive in and download the image and see what it is. So opening the image, we can clearly see that this is let me just say a system where we're supposed to insert the pin, and we don't know what the pin is. And unfortunately, from the image, there are two scenarios that we could look at this. So the first scenario is the pin could be the part in the pads where it is worn out, or it could be that do you see the areas where they've managed to put some marks? That could be where the pin is, or the answer to the challenge. We're not really sure, but let's see how we're going to solve this challenge. So let's dive in back to the question. The question, first of all, it's called, let me say the challenge. The challenge itself, it's called codename SearchLight. So we need to find out what is codename SearchLight, first of all. So let's copy that word and let's look at it on Google and see what Google what result it will give us on Google. So we can see here things relating to Secret Service code names, etc., etc. So I think that correlates with this part which says, remember, the person who sets the master pin is a high profile person. But up to this point, we still don't know who this person is. So it could be that this person, who is a high profile person, quote unquote, was given the code name SearchLight. So let's find out who he is. When you scroll a little bit, we can see there is a Wikipedia research result, and we can see here Richard Nixon is highlighted. So let's just open and investigate further. Let's look for Richard Nixon. So here is Richard Nixon SearchLight, and from the image that we can see here, there already is two years that are very visible on the image. So there is the 1969 to 1974, there is 1953, and there is 1961. So one of those years, quote unquote, could be the answer of this challenge. But since I'm the one who created this CTF challenge, then definitely those are not the answers. Even when you try it, then you're going to find out that they are not the answers. So how are you going to go around this challenge? So we can see from that statement that Mr. Richard Nixon was the 30th President of the United States of America, and he was serving between the year 1969 to 1974. So before a person becomes a president, obviously there's that period of election. So let's try and Google search that. So Richard Nixon election. So let's just search that, and immediately from suggestions you can see there's 1968, etc. But let us just Google search for the sake of it. And you can see here who ran against Nixon 1968. How did Richard Nixon win the election of 1968? So from a human perspective, the way human beings think, they'll definitely use a pin that they are going to remember very easily. And from the CTF challenge that is set up, definitely you are going to see that if Mr. Richard Nixon was the president and got elected in 1968, then definitely that will make sense to be the answer of this challenge. So let's try to submit that as a flag. So archinsec curly bracket, and then let's insert 1968 and then close the curly bracket, and then we submit. Okay, sorry, there's an error. 1968, and we close the curly bracket, and then let's submit it again. And as you can see, the flag that we submitted was correct. So that's how you solve this final challenge of the OSINT category. As you can see, it's very easy, but it required a little bit of thinking on how human beings tend to set up their passwords, a little bit knowledge on what to search for on Google, etc. So this challenge, I can say that it was created with that intention to help you build your Google search skills, or Google searching skills rather, and also trying to see or think the way other people would think, because that's how hackers manage to get passwords and guess the passwords of people, is through that, to try to put themselves in the shoe of the person that they're trying to breach or to attack, in other words. So yeah, that's how you solve the final challenge. So guys, thank you very much. That's the end of this series of how to solve the OSINT challenges that was set for the Hack It Bootcamp. Cheers.